Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the Uplift. I'm Reverend Patti, the Senior Minister here at Vision. I welcome you in. We are going to talk about another quality of God. I've got some writings of my own on it. I've got some quotes from Dr. Ernest Holmes about that quality, and you'll find out what that quality is right after we go to prayer. So please join me in prayer now. I give great thanks for this day, for this time we spend together, for this dive into these qualities of God, knowing that they are qualities of us, that whatever we know Spirit is, we know we are. We are that which thou art. All of the qualities that we attribute to God, from peace to abundance and joy and balance, we know flow through us in limitless quantities. When we awaken to the truth of our own nature, how wonderful that is, how powerful, how empowering. And we know that we are the place where Spirit shows up in form to do the work of Spirit on earth, to do the love and the joy and the praying and the power and the peace, all of it. So I turn this time over to Spirit right here and now, knowing it is all God and it is all good. And so it is. Amen. So here we are, Friday. We're going into the Memorial Day weekend, so I hope you have a nice, safe, and fun celebration planned for yourself. Maybe some backyard things, maybe some friends over. Hopefully still being safe. You know, I know about being vaccinated and wearing masks or staying socially distanced, all that stuff. We can keep doing that anyway, even if we've been vaccinated, just to be on the safe side, knowing we're wise stewards of these grand and glorious bodies that we have been given. So we want to keep them safe and healthy, even though we feel like we're at the end of this thing. And I know you feel like it too. I feel it. I feel the energy of, wow, this whole worldwide pandemic thing is more behind us than anything else. And we are moving into a newer sense of freedom. So be safe still and enjoy the Memorial Day, and think about all of the men and women who have given their lives to this country, because that is what Memorial Day is all about. It is in memory of. So take some time, go to prayer, sit in meditation, for that is the purpose of Memorial Day. And so while we are here, I started the week off with balance, and so I thought the perfect quality of God to follow that with would be order. Balance and order, they just feel connected to me, don't they? Do they feel connected to you? I wanted to read a quote from Ernest Holmes. In fact, this one comes from his glossary in the back of the Science of Mind textbook. He says, agreement in facts and opinions and manners and interests, the secret of all progress is getting into right relationship with the universal. And I love that. I think that's a great definition of our lives. In tune with the infinite, he says. And I love that because, of course, that, basically refers us back to Joel Goldsmith's work. In tune with infinite order is harmony. So think about that. And then he goes on to write, contacting infinite intelligence, recognizing the supreme within, accepting the underlying laws of creation, and moving in its mighty rhythm is harmony. Such harmony adjusts our affairs and enriches our lives. This is universal order. This is what he's talking about, is universal order. And he gives us a warning, too, in the same Science of Mind textbook. He says, one of the greatest difficulties in this new order of thought, which is our practice, right, our philosophy of science of mind and spirit, is about a new thought, right? It's a new thought we have. And he said, one of the great difficulties in this new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. He has quite a sense of humor. As a matter of fact, we only know as much as we can prove with actual demonstration. That which we cannot prove may or may not be true, but that which we can prove must certainly be, in fact, truth. So that's why we practice these principles. That's why we put them to the test. So let's get into this quality of God known as order and see what we think about it. You know, there are so many qualities, and like I said, we here at Vision do the top 12. You know, we have this blessed dozen of qualities of God, but there are more. These are just the ones, the universal ones that we came up with, and a lot of the other qualities you might be able to fit into any one of these. But the qualities of God that we think about most often are abundance, balance, beauty, freedom, joy, love, order, peace, power, unity, wholeness, and wisdom. And that was in alphabetical order because that's the way I memorized them. So we have all of these qualities. Remember, let's go back to the truth of them, right? God is the truth to which there is no opposite. So when we start dealing with the qualities of God at the universal level, we are talking about qualities on a continuum. There is no opposite, where there is no good and bad. There is no light and dark. There is no abundance and scarcity, because those things do not exist at the mind of God. What we have is the quality of God known as abundance. We have a little of it, or we have a lot of it, or we have anything in between, right? It is a sliding scale. It's in a continuum. It exists in a continuum. There is only the quality of God known as abundance. We, at the level of effect, at the physical world, can demonstrate little teeny tiny bit of that quality. We call it lack, or we call it limitation, or we call it poor. But it's just demonstrating the quality of God known as abundance to the level at which we think is possible for ourselves. And when we grow a greater consciousness, we grow in our ability to demonstrate that quality. So we're talking about order, because everything in the universe is in perfect order. I know in physics they say when things are left alone, of course they devolve into chaos. But you know, I think sometimes chaos is the type of order that we do not yet understand. Right? Because if you think about it, when things devolve into chaos, something else is birthed from that chaos. So really, it is an order in and of itself, right? You mow your front lawn, you plant your flowers, you have your edging, everything is beautiful. And if you don't touch it again, what happens? Weeds grow, plants die, crabgrass will take over. Things happen. Is that chaos? No, it is a different form of order. It is a natural order of the universe to create new expressions. And that's what it's doing. It's creating new expressions. So the manifest universe bursts into being, right, with the Big Bang or whatever. And the first thing that happens is order. As a matter of fact, I think Ernest Holmes said, order is the first law of heaven. Order is the first law of heaven. Why? Because things became orderly. As the Big Bang happened, as the universe birthed itself into form, first there was nothing, then there was light. Then there was water, earth, there was the separation, then land and water separated, night and day separated. We began this orderly process of creating a livable planet. The grand impulsion of the universe, of spirit, was to create life. And that's what it did. And then we come along and we try to impose our own personal order on universal order. And that's why we're here in San Diego trying to grow grass in a desert. Because that's what we do as people. We try to impose our own sense of order where there is a universal order already happening. Your front yard should probably be sand and succulents and some cactus, whatever grows naturally here in San Diego. But no, we keep trying to grow grass. And then we spend a good deal of time trying to maintain it. Or else chaos takes over. And that's really the difference, I think, between this human need to create order and the natural order of things that really exists all around us. There are dandelions in our front yard. There should be dandelions in our front yard. The bees love them. We need to give the bees what they need so that they can give us vegetables and fruits and all of the pollination that they do, right? It's perfect order. That is perfect order. Whether we like the fact that there are dandelions in our front yard or not, right? They tell us, Home Depot will tell us, Lowe's will tell us, get rid of all the dandelions, but no. It's an order that we don't really think about, but there it is. We're witnessing the order of the universe establishing itself once again. You know, you get your front yard to look exactly the way you want to look. You can't ever go to sleep again because those little weeds will come up overnight. There is an order to the universe, and here's the thing, we must align with it. We must align with it because when we fight against it, it's sort of a losing battle. We spend an inordinate amount of time. If we live in an area that has very little rain, very little water, very little moisture, then the plants that naturally thrive in that environment are the plants we should plant. The ones that thrive in a drought condition, in a situation where there's very little water. We want to put things in our yard that demand a ton of water, that the ground must stay moist and wet. It's like, it's not going to work, you know? It's just not going to work. So we finally get to the point where we align ourselves with the natural order of life. And then we get to outpicture in harmony, like Ernest Holmes said in the glossary, in harmony. And we have to align ourselves and allow the natural order to flow through us in all areas of our lives, not just in our yards, but in our finances, in our relationships, in our jobs. We have to allow for the natural order to flow, and we have to remain in alignment with it. So prosperity, here's one. Here's a quote I got from Ernest Holmes. This is also from the Science Mind textbook. He says, prosperity is the result of a mental atmosphere of faith and order induced within us through right thinking. We should believe that the universe is planned for abundance and that we, as a living part of the universal intelligence, have a share in the general riches. This is what makes our life flow. This is what makes our life that easy, effortless feeling that we know we're capable of having. You know when you're in the flow, don't you? You absolutely know it. When things just flow, when the parking spot opens up, when the phone call goes right through, when the mail, there's more checks in the mail than bills. You know when you're in that flow. You are in proper alignment with the universe, and you are recreating, or co-creating, I should say, co-creating the quality of God known as order. And so that natural order flows through your life. And it allows for things to happen with ease. You know, I know that if you, the quality of God known as order can be a little, you might wonder, like, well, what does it look like in my life? You know, what would the quality of God known as order present itself to look like in my life? You know, and I tell women a lot of times, if you want to look at how you're doing in the quality of life, in the quality of God known as order, look in your purse. Open your purse, right? And everything is in there and nice and neat, and you know where everything is. You've got a handle on the quality of God known as order. If you open up your purse and it looks like a black hole in there, right? You spend a half hour trying to find anything, you can understand where you are on the continuum. Same thing with men. I know, even though men don't carry purses usually, but it's the same way I can address people would say, what's the inside of your closet look like? What does the trunk of your car look like? That's always a good one. Open up the trunk of your car, men or women, doesn't matter. The state of the inside of your trunk gives you a good clue as to where you are in alignment with the quality of God known as order. And so if you need to do work, you'll know. If you need to do work in that quality, you will absolutely know it just by looking. just by looking. And you know, again, this goes back to what I said on Monday about balance, is that before you start doing any of the work, before you start throwing everything out of your purse, before you start throwing everything out of your trunk, you have to go to thought. You have to go within. You have to commune in the inner life before you do anything in the outer life. And to see what Spirit is asking of you, to explore what your next step is. And then you'll know. You hear that still small voice, you know what the next step is. You know, that's the funny part about it, is that then we ask our friends, because more than anything else, if we don't like what Spirit says, we want to get a second opinion. But Spirit knows. Spirit knows us better than we know ourselves. And so when we come out of our prayer and meditation practice, when we come out of our daily spiritual practice, we absolutely will know what to do. Our natural state of being is order, right? First law of heaven. Our natural state of being is in harmony with all of these qualities that I'm talking about. We are living, breathing, demonstrating, whether consciously or unconsciously, all of the qualities of God, because that is who we are. We are spirit in form. And so we demonstrate all of them all the time, to the extent that we are conscious of them, that we believe them, we embody them, can we demonstrate them in greater and greater quantities. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I think that's probably all we want to know at the moment about order. Just know that it's your natural state of being. It is who you are. And as you look around in your environment with a much more orderly consciousness, you will see what needs to be attended to. And you will absolutely attend to it in the way Spirit guides and directs you to, from your practice, from your spiritual practice, from your meditation, and from your prayer work. And speaking of prayer work, let's pray out. I give great thanks for this time spent together. I know it is blessed. I know it is good. I know this time is a blessing in our lives. I know it is enriching and fulfilling, and I know and accept that as we depart from this time, we go with a clearer idea of ourselves as part of a living universe, as part of a dynamic and loving universe that we can never be apart from, but we are always immersed in. I give thanks for all of this good. I know this is a blessing to our lives. And so it is. Amen. So thank you for stopping by. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Stop for a moment and reflect on the memorial part of this Memorial Day weekend. Have a safe celebration, and I will see you again on Monday. From my heart to yours, sending you love. Well, I'll see you on Sunday too. I just thought about that. I'll see you on Sunday and I'll see you on Monday, but I'll see you on Monday's Uplift. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. From my heart to yours, Vision, we are one through technology. Bye-bye.